Hey everybody, sorry about the cough. Uh, Three interesting stories that I found in the news recently, and I have to admit I was kind of like, One of them is an update to a previous story. Remember the woman who found her dead husband 8 months later, in a closet, a hidden closet in the back of the house or something? Well, there's a new article out that came out on the 14th where woman recalls total shock of finding missing husband's body in closet while getting holiday decorations. I shouldn't laugh, but I still have that press X to doubt thing about this guy. So basically, what she says, and I don't want to read the whole article, she basically says that she was pretty shocked, and that her name is Jennifer Maidage, and her husband Richard, 53, had killed himself and in this backroom closet that nobody could find, that the police didn't think to look through. But yeah, she says, "Oh, it was pretty shocking, and I don't know how I feel about all of it." The coroner who examined the body says there were no signs of foul play, concluded Madison County Coroner Steve Nonn. Non. How do you pronounce these names? Nonn? Is that non or non? Who knows? It's just sad in a way of sorts. And this story came out on the 14th of March. Okay, next quick story. Chinese billionaire Gu Wengai. Okay, Go Wengay. Yeah, we're just gonna go with Go Wengay. A close friend of right-wing media personality Stephen K. Bannon, who has long been on the FBI's radar, has been charged in a massive $1 billion fraud conspiracy, the feds announced Wednesday. Excuse me. And, well, that's the summation of the story. But let's just put this into context. Why is this important? Other than the fact that the guy is Chinese and he committed $1 billion worth of fraud. Where did he commit it at? In China? In the United States? Who knows? Was he native Chinese, or is he native to America but happens to be Chinese? Once again, we don't know. The story tells all of these facts. But the biggest thing I want to get to is the fact that they mentioned that he was buddies with Steve Bannon. How much of a buddy was he with Steve Bannon? Did he give Steve Bannon money? Did Steve Bannon give him money? The reason why this is only even mentioned is because, of course, Steve Bannon is a longtime Trump ally. So, what is the connection with this story? Why even print this story? It's quite simple. Oh, some guy got arrested for fraud who happens to be Chinese, who happens to be a pal of Steve Bannon, who's also a pal of Donald Trump. How can we connect this to Donald Trump? You can't. You just can't. There's no way to do this. Now, apparently, this guy had all of this stuff and had another co-conspirator by the name of Jin Ming Ji, who is 56. I guess that's a woman. Misappropriated some $1 billion in fraudulently obtained funds during the course of their conspiracy, according to the Department of Justice. Go allegedly used the money for, among other things, a 50,000 square foot New Jersey mansion. Jeez, bro, you could have found a better place. Upkeep on a $37 million yacht, a $3.5 million Ferrari, Chinese and Persian rugs worth nearly $1 million, a 4.4 Bugatti sports car, a Lamborghini Aventador SJ Roadster, a Rolls-Royce Phantom EWB, a $62,000 television, a $53,000 fireplace log cradle holder, and two $36,000 mattresses that are apparently made of horsehair. This guy apparently doesn't know how to spend his fucking money. He's a retard. What the hell? Why would you spend your money on that shit? A $37 million yacht? Okay, the Ferrari, I can get. Sports cars, the Lamborghini, the Bugatti, yeah. Maybe even the Rolls Royce Phantom, but a $62,000 television? a $53,000 fireplace log cradle holder, and two $36,000 mattresses? What the fuck, man? None of this makes any sense to me. He even went out and spent, let's see here. The list includes a Louisville X-style Ormolindo mounted mahogany commode furniture, a 180,000 pewter and bronze extension table, a watch storage box for nearly $60,000. Then there's the Porsche-designed Bosendorfer piano made in Austria that's among the best-sounding instruments in the world, and a custom piano bench worth more than $140,000. I think they went after this guy just because he was spending money stupidly. That's what I'd go after him for. I'd be like, man, what? You're an idiot. We're coming after you. You're a dummy. Jesus. I mean, this is just ridiculous what he spent his money on. Some of the stuff, okay, I get it. You're rich. You can spend your money on it. But the rest of some of this stuff, like the piano, a Ferrari-made piano, why? Or a Porsche-designed piano, why? What do you even play piano? It's just crazy. Crazy. All right, next story here. And this is the one that really caught my eye. March 20th. They're describing what they refer to as jugging among new crime trends posing danger on American streets. What to know? Okay, what is jugging? What is jugging? Let's just go ahead and say what jugging is. Jugging is, I guess it's the new urban youth slang term for what we used to call purse snatching or assault and robbery. Yeah. You know, those tales of your grandmother used to tell you about some young man would run up and snatch her purse and run off with it. That's basically what this is. The only difference is now they're adding in the assault variable. So in other words, jugging is mugging people. Oh gosh. So why are they calling it jugging? I don't know. And apparently it's now become a new and rising crime trend. No, it hasn't. This has been going on for decades. It's just gotten more attention now because what's happening is you have young black men between the ages of 15 on up to 25 running up behind old white women, old white men, old Asian men and women, body slamming them or snatching their purse or knocking them down and stealing something from them. That's what's going on. Because now it's people can see it on tape. You can see this stuff happening on YouTube, World Star Hip Hop and shit like that. Now all of a sudden it's important. Now reading the article here, these guys, they're not mentioning that these people are black that's doing it. That's who's doing it most of the time. They just want to say, oh, well, it's not. You know, they just want to say it's happening, but they don't want to admit where it's happening, who it is happening to. It is happening in these Democrat cities where there's no gun laws, or the gun laws are so strict you can barely get a gun, and it's a lot of young black men. They just don't want to admit that. Now, back in the day when you had a right to have a damn gun to yourself, most of these young men would end up getting fucking shot. So now there's one particular story that caught my eye about this was that they had a young black man who jacked a young Asian woman. And here's the thing. Here's how the story is stated. Robbery suspect body slams Texas woman, leaving her paralyzed. Now it's actually on the Fox News app as well. And they won't even show in the Yahoo News what the images of any of these people. But on the Fox News app, it's an Asian woman who appears to be in her mid-30s, maybe her early 40s, and it's a young black man. Details, young black man is 17 years old and was already out little more than a week on a $50,000 bond for another assault and robbery, another mugging. So he gets together with his 19-year-old girlfriend, and They follow this woman from an ATM, and then they jack her. And she's paralyzed now. She's paralyzed. And they released her from the hospital a few days ago. And she's still paralyzed, and she's going to take at least a year of recovery time. Now, this boy, he's sitting up there on a $500,000 bond. He's probably not getting out this time. Mommy ain't bailing his ass out this time. But at the exact same time, why would you give this guy a $500,000 bond? Why? He already got out on bond for a similar crime, and he just went right ahead and did it again. The only difference is it took a month for him to catch him this time. This woman was in the hospital for over a month before they caught this boy. This is some bullshit. Now, they've got another crime called tap and glue, where somebody is gluing ATM card slots shut. I'm not even going to bother reading with that, because that's a new one and it's stupid. And then they also called sliders. Now, all of these crimes have been around for the longest time. Sliders is basically like jugging or mugging, where you track a person after they've gotten money out of an ATM, or maybe went out and got a paycheck cash, and they're walking around with money. So you track them, follow them to a point where you can get them someplace where nobody will see and grab their money. There's been an increase, supposedly once again, in this happening. Now, I've known for the last 2 or 3 years that there has been an increase in this happening. I don't know why all of a sudden now Yahoo News and Fox News are suddenly talking about this as if, oh gosh, we just had no idea that this was happening. Oh, well, it's under a new term now, so now we can change it around. No. It's muggings. It's armed robbery. It's strong armed robbery. This has been going on for decades now. Maybe it's increased a little bit just because my black males. But just go ahead and straight up admit who these guys are. They're black males, single parent homes, dreadlocks in their stupid ass fucking hair, and they look like a bunch of idiots. Just go ahead and admit it. The article reads talking about how several other people in Texas and around the country have literally gotten money from the ATM, got their paychecks cashed. They're walking down the street or walking to their cars in some form or fashion, and some young black male comes out of nowhere, grabs them, slings them around, slams them onto the ground, grabs their money. This has been going on this was going on back when I was a kid. I can remember people, the police would warn young women, look, don't go, if you're going out at night, stay in well-lit areas, check the back seat of your car before you get in your car. Guys, if you get your paycheck, try to cash it at a bank and put it in a bank account. Carry very little money with you when you walk out of that bank because you don't know who's watching you. I can remember when I was working in restaurants. On very few occasions, I would be asked to go to the bank and either drop off money, generally after closing time. You know, the gathering up of all the money and everything that was paid for food and everything else. You know, you do a night deposit. I can remember being scared half to death doing that shit because you have no idea who's watching your ass. You have no idea. And I can remember my manager, Steve, one time when I did it for him, I said, man, this is kind of scary, kind of dangerous. He's like, look, if somebody come up to you with a gun, give them the money. I don't give a fuck. I was like, well, wait a minute now. This is the money we made in the store. He said, look, we can always make more money, but I want you getting shot. Just, try to be as quick as possible. But if somebody runs up on you asking for that money, just give it to them. Ain't worth dying over. Ain't a dime worth dying over in that little bag I'm giving you. Yes, sir. And this was when I was in my 20s. So, once again, this shit's been going on for decades. They just, because somebody put some new slang to it, all of a sudden, oh gosh, now we can talk about it. Make sure you mention who the people doing the sliding and the jugging and the tapping glues are. They're black people. Okay? They're black people. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you've got a bunch of young black men running around committing these crimes. You're not helping the people who are vulnerable to these crimes by not mentioning the fact that these people are black. Yeah, I know, stereotypes. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's racism. But look, having a mother in her 70s and a father in her 70s and numerous other relatives in their 60s and 70s. I don't want them getting jacked. And I'm more than willing to sit up there and tell them, hey, look, if you look like you got some young black guy following behind you and you've just gotten money out the ATM or whatever, be careful. Or better yet, if you're walking to an ATM and there seems to be one or two young black men behind you, beside you, near you, go to another ATM. Go to another ATM. It's too dangerous. They're looking to jack you. I'd rather say that and come across as more racist than have them get hurt or killed over a few $100. All right, folks. That's it for these 3 interesting stories. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to try to put out a couple of more videos. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.